What do you think? Do chore punishments make kids hate work? Well, the answer might surprise you. I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach parenting and communication as well as good family relationships all around the world. And I teach them through the lens of self-government. In this video, we're going to be talking about chores that are used as negative consequences and what the effects of those really are. Back in 2009, I was featured in a BBC documentary, reality TV show called The World's Strictest Parents. And in this program, two troubled teens came to our home to stay for 8 days. They were both ages 17, and we definitely taught them to work. In fact, we used chores as negative consequences to help with some of that learning. In this video, I'm going to share with you a story that happened in that episode of The World's Strictest Parents that was not seen on TV, and I'm also going to be sharing with you some of the effects of using chores as a negative consequence that you might not have thought of before. You know, they filmed at our house for like 180 hours over the 8-day period, and the world got to see 1 hour. There was a whole lot of stuff that didn't happen that could have been really beneficial to see. In fact, this one example that I'm going to be sharing with you right now would have been some great footage on the program, but alas, they could only do what 1 hour could accommodate, right? In fact, if you happen to see the program, just remember it's chopped up a bit, and you know, as TV programs are, it did have quite a bit of edits in it. It's actually pretty much all the way true. There's a couple of things that the narrator says that aren't quite true, but other than that, it's pretty good. Anyway, just a little insight for you. So there was this moment where James, he was one of the troubled teens that came to stay in our house for the program. He was 17 years old. He earned a negative consequence. And in our home, we use work as a negative consequence because Samuel Smiles said in his book Character that was written back in the 1800s that work is the antidote for a sick character. And if you look at our society today, you look at how easy life is for so many people and where the character development is at. I mean, we have apathy, laziness, like going through the roof, people who are entitled. These are all signs of bad character development. And I really do think it's because in our modern society, things are just too easy for us. So we start to expect, even demand things to get even easier? Yep, it's true, we do, but work teaches us a lot. Well, anyway, James happened to earn a negative consequence, and so my husband told him that for his negative consequence, he would get the opportunity to clean the bathroom. James said to my husband, "Okay, I'll clean the bathroom, but may I disagree appropriately?" That's one of the skills that we teach our children, and we had taught that skill to James and Hannah as well. So Spencer said, "Yes, of course you may disagree appropriately." So James said, "I know that you want me to clean the bathroom, but I've never cleaned a bathroom before." Whoa, that was amazing to my husband. He was like, "Wait a second, you're 17 and you've never cleaned the bathroom before?" He was so surprised about that. So he said, "Okay, well, I'll teach you how to clean the bathroom." So he took James to one of the bathrooms in our house and he taught him step by step how to clean the bathroom. This was a pre-teaching, right? Then he took James to the bathroom he was supposed to clean. And he said, "Okay, now go through it. I'll be here if you need to ask me any questions." So James started to clean the bathroom. And he was having such a great time shining everything up and making it look just perfect. In fact, when he was finished cleaning the bathroom, he stepped back to take a look at his work, and I ended up walking by right at that time. And he said, "Nicholeen, stop, come here, come look at this." And I said, "Okay." And so I came to look at the bathroom, and he said, "Look at this, I cleaned this all by myself." He's 17, remember? He'd never cleaned a bathroom. He was so proud of himself. And he said, "Look how that shines." And I started looking and giving him some praise and telling him how great it looked. And then he said, "Yeah, when I get home, I'm going to clean the bathroom and my mom is going to die." He was so excited to show his mom this new skill, this work. And I started thinking, his poor mother's probably been cleaning the bathroom his whole entire life. And he never got the opportunity to do it. And look how much confidence it gave him. Look how excited he was just to learn a basic adult skill. James felt the same thing when we taught him how to drive. He also felt the same thing when we taught him how to do some basic gardening and some other things like shooting archery. He really wanted to know some good adult skills. Teaching someone how to do skills, how to work, is super empowering. Before we talk more about the effects of using chores as negative consequences, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to also click the notification bell. You're going to want to see these videos in your feed so that you can get more help each day as I release new content. A chore is what I call a synthetic consequence. So there are two different types of consequences. There's synthetic consequences and natural consequences. While natural consequences are the ones that most adults work with on a regular basis, they don't actually teach children as quickly as we might like them to. So children oftentimes don't notice that the kitchen is starting to smell because of the sink full of dishes that they should have done. So it's really helpful as far as having the teaching happen more quickly for children to use a synthetic consequence. One of the best synthetic consequences that you could use is an extra chore. And here's why. Parents use many things for synthetic consequences. They use things like timeouts, they take away certain toys or privileges from children. Sometimes they hit children or spank them. They say mean words to their children or they get angry. Those are all negative consequences and they're all synthetic negative consequences. So what you recognize from that list is the majority of parents do utilize synthetic consequences so that they can do more immediate teaching for their children, which is important because the prefrontal cortex of the brain is not fully developed until a child is much older, usually between the ages of 18 and 25. Since that's the case, then immediate teaching will help the child learn cause and effect better, if it's possible. So why do we want to use chores then? Why are they the best one? Well, let me explain why. If I take something from a child or I spank a child, those are things that I did to the child. If the child is going to learn self-government, which is one of my goals as a parent, that my child will learn self-government over themselves, I can't be taking the opportunity to learn from them. If I take things or do things to them, then it only becomes about what I did to them, not about what they chose and what consequence they had to accept. A chore is something they have to accept. Nobody can do it for them. They have to do it. And it serves other people too. It serves people in the family, not just them. It's also something that can be done quickly and then it can disappear. You've all heard those parents that say things like, listen, you're going to be grounded for the rest of your life, or you won't play for the rest of the week, or whatever it is. These are things that follow them around just because a child was disrespectful once or didn't use a calm face, voice, and body when a parent gave them a no answer. That's unreasonable and actually it's vindictive. That type of parenting is all about bullying or power struggling, and the parents are oftentimes creating power struggles and they don't even realize it. So what should the parent do? Give the child the opportunity to accept their own consequences. In our family, we have a skill set for this called accepting consequences. The accepting consequences skill has 6 steps to it. You look at the person, keep a calm face, voice, and body, say okay or ask to disagree appropriately, then you do the consequence, you carry out the task, and then you check back and drop the subject. This is how a person accepts a consequence. In our family, we've taught them this skill, and then we give them the opportunity to accept that consequence on a regular basis. Chores actually help develop character. They also help develop confidence, as I showed in the story with James from the BBC show. There have been so many times over the years of bringing treatment foster children into my home where I have seen people grow by leaps and bounds just by learning to do chores. Chores are quick. They make repentance fast. The person can get back on track and they feel good about themselves. They know they've accomplished something and they had the opportunity to accept their consequence by taking that positive action. If you've enjoyed this, I know you're going to love my video called The Most Important Skill for Kids to Learn, because it's all about accepting consequences. If you want to learn more about that and see that skill right in action with another child, then be sure to go and check out that video now. We'll see you there.